All right, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2018 Golden Apple Awards for Excellence in Teaching. At this time, I will go ahead and get protocol established. I would like to go ahead and welcome the Honorable Roy McTaggart, Minister for Finance and Economic Development, Ms. Barbara Conley, Counselor for Education and Youth, elected member for Georgetown South, Mr. David White, Counselor for Sports and Transport, elected member for Georgetown West. Also, Honorable D. Ezard Miller, Leader of Opposition, elected member for North Side. Mr. Christian Saku, Chief Officer, Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports, Agriculture and Lands. Ms. Lynette Monteith, Director, Department of Education Services. All the representatives from the Ministry of Education and Department of Education Services. Good evening.
Tonight, we recognize 12 outstanding educators on their accomplishments in nurturing our students and giving them the guidance needed to grow, learn, and develop.
It is our privilege to introduce our first speaker of the evening, Mr. Paul Biles, President of the Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce.
Please welcome Mr. Biles.
Good evening, everyone. It's been 5 years since we last held these awards, and we're very excited to be able to celebrate the outstanding educators in the local community once again. Education is one of the most important aspects of our community, and educators have the unenviable task of shaping the leaders of tomorrow. The Chamber of Commerce acknowledges how challenging teaching can be, and as such, pledges its support for all educators, schools, and tertiary institutions wherever possible. Part of our efforts, as identified in our 3-year advocacy agenda and action plan, was to reintroduce these awards and give educators the recognition they very much deserve. So it's really fantastic to see so many educators and administrators in education here this evening. We're all grateful for the tremendous work that you do. Congratulations to each and every one of the finalists on your accomplishments. It is also encouraging to see so many people here tonight showing their support for all local teachers. On behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, the council, the staff, the membership, I would like to thank you all for joining us. By collaborating together for events and initiatives such as these awards, we can all play an important part in supporting the Cayman Islands education system and to ensure that our children get the best level of support that is possible. Programs such as the Mentoring Cayman program has partnered talented high school students with community, business, and government leaders for almost 2 decades. In that program, I think we've put just over 700 students through that program, where they've had an opportunity to meet with business leaders and spend time with them over the term of that program, and get mentored and learn a bit more about work and what happens in the office and so on. And I think sometimes that does get missed. What gets missed is that sometimes these kids just need an opportunity to know what it's like to be in a workplace. So this isn't the time to get very intense about how you qualify and what your grades were and how, if you got an A in geography and a B in math, and this isn't the time to do that. This is the time just to get them to know what it means to go to work, what it means to get up and be somewhere at 8:30 in the morning, what it means to deal with other people in an environment and to learn to get along with others. These are all very important life skills. And so it's very important that we give them that, what I call a very early entry point, where they don't have to be assessed. They don't have to be the best to get a job. But really you have to be able to have the skills and the right attitude and the right character to be able to get an opportunity to go into the office and work with someone. And that's a very different type of assessment. I think that's very important that we have that way to assess our kids as well, and not just the other way. Our new summer work experience program will help to do that, and will provide students aged 15 to 17 with experiences in the local workplace and prepare them for the future of work. Here is an opportunity just to get to know what it's like to go somewhere and to work. All right? A lot of kids actually don't know what it means to be in an office and to see other people and to show up on time and to dress a certain way, so we try to do that. But celebration like tonight is also an important part of supporting local education. For example, And for years, the Chamber has supported students with graduation awards. We do that every year. We go around to the schools and we have lots of various forms of academic excellence. And we are very proud to be sponsoring those various awards. I'll just end by saying that I hope you do enjoy yourselves this evening. And thank you all for attending. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Biles. Tonight's awards are a partnership between the Chamber of Commerce and the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports, Agriculture, and Lands.
The ministry has supported numerous educational initiatives introduced by the Chamber of Commerce, including their Mentoring Cayman program, and it's great to see them here tonight pledging their support for local educators.
Unfortunately, the Honorable Minister of Education, Ms. Juliana O'Connor Conley, is unable to attend this evening, so to say a few words on her behalf, and as well as on behalf of the ministry, please welcome Councillor Barbara Conley at this time.
Good evening, everyone. As Mr. Miles has said, the minister is unwell tonight, so I will be delivering these opening remarks on her behalf. With protocol having been established, I can also extend a special welcome to all the finalists here with us tonight. You all look fantastic, and I look forward to honoring you throughout the evening as our winners are revealed. I am thoroughly proud to be a part of the team responsible for bringing back the Golden Apple Awards program. You, our educators, often work thanklessly, and far beyond the remit of teacher. Your responsibilities ranged throughout the school day, from teachers to coaches, social workers, surrogate parents, medical providers, counselors, sounding boards, all while differentiating the curriculum with the goal of meeting the specific needs of each student academically. We as a country do not say it enough, but I will say it tonight. Thank you. Thank you for your time, your energy, the money we know you put into your classrooms. Thank you for putting so much of yourselves into what you do. I am delighted that through the Golden Apple Awards program, we can honor the superstars in our education system tonight. And I hope that this is a program that is back to stay. Thank you very much to the team at the Chamber of Commerce for spearheading this venture, to the team in the ministry for supporting them wherever possible, and to the list of other generous sponsors who supported this program and this event tonight. It is my wish for all educators in this program or in this country, whether public or private, that you feel encouraged, inspired, and motivated by the regenesis of this program, so that you are reminded your time, effort, dedication, and sacrifices do not go unnoticed. I thank you all for your commitment to the children and families of these islands, and I hope you will feel inspired to continue in your labor of love. To each of the finalists, your respective communities have recognized your talents and are supporting you this evening, win or lose. The recognition of nomination is very special in and of itself. I wish you all the best of luck and pray that you continue to bestow your special gifts on the children of these islands. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Barbara Connolly. Without further ado, it is time for us to start honoring the teachers for whom this night is all about.
Our first award of the evening recognizes outstanding primary school teachers in the public school system. To present the award are two individuals who know very well just how important teachers are.
Stephanie Gunby and Daniel Nicholson Garden are DART scholars whose participation with Minds-inspired events and activities strengthen their interest in STEM subjects. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Stephanie and Daniel.
Good evening, everyone. It is our privilege to present the award for primary school teacher in a public school.
As DART scholars, we know firsthand how important it is to have authoritative yet nurturing educators in the classroom.
Teaching is not an easy profession, but it is a selfless one, and those who lead in the classroom show on a daily basis that they are dedicated to improving the lives of others.
We would like to congratulate tonight's finalists in this category for impacting the lives of their students in such a positive manner. Here's a video of tonight's finalists.
First and foremost, I was always in the community, and I did sports. And many times, parents would come to me and ask for some assistance with their child's homework, particularly math. And it was my niche. I absolutely loved explaining math. I love my job. Every single day, I don't think I ever go home upset about anything. It's just an amazing feeling, something I can't put words to. There are not enough words to explain what you feel as a teacher, especially those aha moments when you know that there's a struggle and suddenly they find the tools. You know, you've left the tools there with them and they find those tools and they find that solution and they realize that, hey, I've succeeded. And there's a special glow that comes about a child's look in their eyes, and the only thing you can do is smile. And you share that happy moment with them and you rejoice and you just want to scream, you know. And to some people it may seem like a small game, but to that individual child, it's moving mountains.
So I was diagnosed with narcolepsy when I was in grade 12, and my teachers made an IEP, you know, and said they were going to make all these wonderful accommodations. However, that actually never happened. So it was always a struggle because they continued to teach to the masses and, you know, do the normal lecture style. It just kind of dawned on me that, you know, I can't be the only one faced with these issues on a day-to-day basis, and obviously not everyone has the same learning style. So that kind of motivated me to go into teaching, to almost change how things are done. The most rewarding moments are when you first start teaching students how to use communication devices at our school, because, you know, you first introduce it with snacks or something motivating like toys, and I think it's when they first start initiating that interaction on their own and no prompting needed, and then they get to the next step of doing it across contexts, and, you know, they can go up to a stranger and ask for something. I think those are the moments that make it so worthwhile, because you know that this child now has a voice and can go on to communicate, you know, wherever life may take them. I think those are the best moments.
Please welcome to the stage Ms. Shakina Bush and Ms. Heather Thompson.
And the Golden Apple Award goes to Ms. Shakeen Bush.
Good evening. This is extremely an honor. So first off, I thank God for making all of this possible. Thank my parents, my family for always supporting my choices, the organizers of this wonderful event. This definitely puts a smile on teachers' faces. I'm honored but mostly humbled to be here tonight to stand in front of my friends, my families, all those who nominated me. The support that I've received has been remarkable and breathtaking. To all nominees and finalists, congratulations. But I would like to also recognize all the teachers out there that were not nominated, or a lot that I know didn't fill out the paperwork to get to the final process, because you do a lot for my children too, so thank you. I hope that as I stand here tonight, I inspire young Caymanians that are unsure about being a teacher in the future. If it's your calling, if it's the calling of your heart, go for it. Be prepared to hear a lot of negatives sometimes, and it's the unfortunate part about our job. And trust me, I've heard it all, from you're too smart to be a teacher, to we're going to down your grade a bit to keep you motivated. But in spite of it all, and sometimes a challenging system, you'll find mentors, phenomenal ones, because I know the ones that I have had stand out, and they are, in my eyes, the greatest people in this world. The children you teach, they will motivate you every single day. The smiles, the spark that ignites when the learning actually happens. It's what keeps you going. It's what pushes you each and every day, even in spite of a system that sometimes demotivates your spirit quite often. Just always remember to do what is right for our children. Make sure that each one knows you support their dreams and that you hear their voice. Stay true and stay committed to our children, because they deserve it. One of my favorite quotes I leave you with tonight is, our deepest fear is that we are not inadequate, but powerful beyond our measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us, as we ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God. Your playing small does not serve this world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that people feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. So please remember, equip our children with the tools they need to shine and speak up in this world. And most importantly, remember that every profession starts with us teachers. God bless and have a wonderful night.
Congratulations to Shekinah Bush on being the recipient of the first of tonight's Golden Apple Awards, and having personally seen Shekinah grow from primary school days playing football, I'm extremely proud of all that she's accomplished to today's date. We now recognize the teachers in the private primary schools.
To present the award for the primary school teacher in a private school is Jim Fraser of the Arm & Hammer Foundation. The Arm & Hammer Foundation might be familiar to some of us, as well as its current chairman and CEO, Mr. Michael Hammer, who is the founder of the Grace Christian Academy.
The Arm & Hammer Foundation has donated hundreds of millions of dollars to educational and scientific efforts over the years, and tonight it shows its support for the teachers of the Cayman Islands.
Please welcome Mr. Jim Fraser, Director of the Arm & Hammer Foundation.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Michael Hammer and the Arm & Hammer Foundation, it is my honor to present the award for the primary teacher in a private school tonight. As the founder of the Grace Christian Academy, Mr. Hammer knows firsthand how important education is to our youth and the necessity for strong and influential teachers in the classroom. Tonight's finalists for the award have proven themselves to be role models for their students, providing them with outstanding guidance in their first years in the education system. Please welcome tonight's finalists for the primary school teacher in a private school.
I did some voluntary work at a school in my local community, and I thought, wow, this is going to be amazing. If I become a teacher, this is what I want to do. So after that voluntary work, I went and did my PGCE and became a teacher. I absolutely love it. I love it. I've been teaching now for 13 years, and I've taught in the UK and internationally, and there isn't one day that's the same in our career, you know. Children are so different, and I just adapt to that, and I just love it. I love working with children. It's just enjoyable. Every day is fun. There's always a laugh, there's always a giggle, there's always, you know, enjoyment. I think having a child come to you and they may not have achieved the best grade, but they know that they've got the confidence now to achieve anything. They'll come to you and say, Miss, thanks. Thanks for giving me that confidence. That yeah, I might make a mistake, but I'm going to be okay. And I love learning. And when they can come to you and say that I'm confident, I'm resilient, and I love learning, you know you've done a good job.
Education will eventually lead to a better life, right? So once you get educated, you know that sky's your limit. You can get wherever you want to go. I don't see teaching as a career. I see teaching as a calling, a ministry, to really touch the lives of others. But I'll tell them, look, teaching is very, very rewarding. You get to see the students every day. I think about them going, doctors and the lawyers and all of that. Doctors only see students when they're sick, but we see them every day. We get to talk with them, we get to speak with them, we get to pray for them, we get to teach them. We touch their lives every day. Every educator needs a source that they can pull from, that person who they can be revitalized by and be re-energized by, you know. So I really encourage every educator to really find that source. My source is Jesus, and I take no credit for what's going on now, no, because I tell them it is not I who teach, but it's Christ who teaches through me. And that's my source, that's my strength, that's where I get the drive to go on.
I would now like to invite Miss Emily Garvey and Miss Cynthia Lewis to the stage to receive their honorary awards. And the Golden Apple Award goes to Emily Garvey.
Wow, I wasn't quite prepared for this. Thank you. It's an incredible honor. I think all the teachers in the room realize how much this event makes our hearts warm. It's really an incredible honor, and I thank all the organizers, the Chamber, the Ministry of Education, for this opportunity of being able to stand at this podium and receive such an incredible award. It's a real testament to my school, St. Ignatius, my parents and my students. My students are incredible, just as all students are. their love of learning, their happiness, and their resilience is really important to me as a teacher. And similar to what Mr. Biles was saying at the beginning, it's not just about academic success. It's about them knowing in their heart and in their mind that no matter what life throws at them, they have that resilience and that confidence to succeed. And thank you. I will take this award back to my school and back to my class. I know on Monday morning, my children are going to be crazy. And it's for them. It's not for me, it's for them, and it's for all the children I've taught. I've taught in some challenging circumstances throughout the years. So it's for the children. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Ms. Garvey. Can we hear another round of applause, please, for Ms. Garvey tonight? At this time, the next stage of education is high school, where students grow and mature into young adults, and where career paths are decided. To begin, we will recognize the teachers in the public high schools, and to present the Golden Apple Award for this category is actually going to be Ms. Anika Conley.
Yes, for those of you who don't know, my other hat from Ms. Cayman is to work as a talent acquisition specialist at the Caribbean Utilities Company. And at the Caribbean Utilities Company, or CUC as we call ourselves, we are used to providing support to those in the community, but the work that we do pales in comparison to the tremendous work of our local teachers. High school is a stage in which students become adults, and it is important that they receive the guidance needed to help them choose their future career path. Denise Henry Cole-Cahoon and Patrice Douglas Hansen have both gone above and beyond the call of duty, and their enthusiastic teaching styles and close bonds with students have seen them recognized as two of the best teachers in the community. Please welcome the finalists for the High School Teacher in a Public School.
I feel like a star, like a celebrity every day when I go to work. I have students just looking out for me and just wanting to please me. And they don't even realize that in wanting to please me, they are making such an impact in their own lives. Because sometimes students will tell you, oh, I'm only doing this because of you, you know, miss, I'm doing your work, you know. But in doing so, just the fact that they're listening and they're learning, and even though they think they're doing it for me, they're actually doing it and bettering themselves, improving themselves and their grades. I was just going to do it for a year, and the year became 2 years and 3 years, and I've been in this profession for 14 years. And I honestly don't see anything else that could be as rewarding as teaching, knowing that you have made such an impact on a life. I have students sending emails, past students coming to look for me and telling me what I have done. I mean, it's not something you boast about, really. I mean, I even feel bad talking about it, but it really does something to know that you had a part to play in their success.
I had some challenges growing up as a young child, and when I look back on my life, I think one day I would love to have the opportunity to help young people to be the best they can be. Teaching is my mission, teaching is my passion, and I don't consider myself a teacher of just the curriculum. I am an inspirator. I go beyond to make sure that my students are motivated, inspired, and at all times they give their best. I was in Foster's Airport shopping one day, and this tall gentleman walked up to me and said, "Hello, Miss Coon, how are you doing?" Then he said to me, "You know something? I never forget the first day you walk into class and you said to us students, don't let anything or anyone dictate what or who you will become. And he said to me that never left me, and that kept him all these years going.
I would now like to invite Mrs. Henry Colquhoun and Mrs. Douglas Hanson to the stage. And the golden apple goes to Mrs. Patrice Douglas Hanson.
Good evening, everyone. I've always said that teaching for me started out as an accident. However, having recently encountered a quote from Maria Gibbs, I have been challenged to rethink this view. As a child, the careers I dreamt of pursuing often shifted, but there was never a place for teaching. I wanted to be a journalist and entertained this desire until I was chalked up by the classroom. Was it an accident or destiny? I obtained a teaching post at Arden High School in Jamaica, and I resolved that I would only spend 1 year. During this time, I would apply for a place at the Caribbean Institute of Media and Communication. However, that application is yet to be submitted. At Arden, I fell in love, and with teaching to this point, I became very impatient with holidays because I loved it so much. After a year at Arden, I got married and joined my husband here on this island. The journey in teaching was not always a smooth one. For years, I did supply teaching, teaching a range of subjects, Spanish, math, history. Eventually, I obtained a permanent post at Grace Christian Academy, and then in the public system where I have been for the past 9 years. This has been my formal experience in teaching, but as I reflect on my journey, I am reminded that I actually started teaching at the tender age of 13. Then I volunteered to work with 9 and 10-year-olds who were preparing to sit their common entrance examination. At this time, this was a major primary exit exam. I was no good at math like Ms. Shakina, but I always ensured that I had done enough to cover the lesson for the day in math and hoped no one had any other areas I had not practiced. Maria Gibbs, whom I mentioned earlier, states that, and I quote, "Everything that we do and everyone that we meet is put in our path for a purpose," end of quote. Reflecting on my journey in teaching has given me reason to believe that my place in the classroom has been anything but accidental. I've met some fantastic students, worked with some terrific people along the way. In my classroom daily, I teach and I learn. I'm a teacher, but I've also had to be a student, learning and relearning lessons that have shaped me into the person I am today. I've had to take many risks. Some turned out great, others not so great, but each has taught a lesson, lessons that suggest that I still have many more 1-year stints left in this profession. I am pleased to be selected for this Golden Apple. However, tonight is not about me, neither is it about the 11 other finalists. Rather, it is about celebrating all teachers on these islands and recognizing the important role they play in the lives of children. Undoubtedly, there are many other committed educators who are equally deserving of such an award. I think especially of all my colleagues at John Gray High School, and in particular my hardworking colleagues in the Department of English who have been tremendously supportive. Thanks to the Chamber of Commerce and the Ministry of Education for recognizing teachers for their hard work. Thanks to all the parents and students who have made this possible. I accept this award in honor of the many lessons that you, my colleagues, and my students have taught me along the journey. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Congratulations to Mrs. Douglas Hanson. Excellent job. We now turn our attention to the high school teachers in private schools. And I apologize from now, I should have said at the beginning, but apologies if I pronounce anyone's name wrong. But Alicia Lalor is the branch manager for Caribbean Alliance Insurance Company, a business that has supported many educational initiatives here in the Cayman Islands. And we would now like to invite Ms. Lalor to the stage to present the award for high school teacher in a private school.
Good evening. Caribbean Alliance Company are proud supporters of the Chamber of Commerce's educational initiatives, having partnered with them for their Mentoring Cayman program. This year, we're happy to celebrate those who oversee the classroom too, and we're privileged in presenting the award to the finalist for high school teacher in a private school. High school can be a testing time for teachers, with students maturing and developing their academic and social personalities. The finalists in this category have shown outstanding support to their students, not only as an educator, but as a confidant and friend. Please welcome the finalist for the High School Teacher in a Private School Award.
I always liked teaching, ever since high school. In the mathematics classroom, I used to have to help my friends to understand math concepts. And I thought, I have a knack for this. And in university, the same thing happened, going to my friends' classes to understand the content, what's being taught, and then go back and teach it to them. And ever since then, I'm like, I probably should become a teacher. I teach to make a difference. I remember being in high school, and the teacher who changed my life is the person I try to emulate in the classroom all the time. He made mathematics seem seamless. It was easy to understand to me, and I want to be that person for somebody else. I think it's one of the most rewarding experiences, because it's really nice to see a student not understanding something initially, and when they get that aha moment, I feel really happy about it, that I've made a difference to somebody. And as outside of academia, I like to impact a student's understanding of who they are and where their role is in society, and help them chart a road for their own success.
So I'm a science teacher, so I try to engage them as much as possible. And usually kids come in with a variety of scientific backgrounds, so they love to share. It's about focusing that sharing into a setting where they're building off of each other's strengths in order to make change in their lives and hopefully the world. What I really love is not necessarily teaching science, it's about teaching about people. And what I mean by that is I'm a firm believer in the value of community and service. So getting my students to think beyond the classroom and how they can impact other people's lives through service. Specifically, the service part is really my passion and what I hope students take away from the experience in my classroom. it's also like puzzles. You figure out each kid and where they are and how to push them forward. Yeah, but I think it's really fun. It has to be, right?
I'd like to invite Mr. Richards to the stage. Unfortunately, Mr. Lamont couldn't make it tonight. I'd like to invite Ms. Nicole Bradford to accept his award. And the award goes to Mr. Richards.
This is a huge honor. I really appreciate this. I never thought I would be here accepting this award. But upon the advice of several of my students, they said you better prepare, because you always tell us, if you fail to prepare, prepare to fail, so you better prepare. So, growing up, my aspirations changed continuously between becoming an educator or becoming a celebrity. Because I was an MTV fanatic, and I liked to see the award ceremony. And I want to say a big thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for giving me the opportunity tonight to play both roles. It is an absolutely wonderful evening, and I'm really happy to be here. I want to also say a big thank you to my St. Ignatius family, the staff, the parents, most importantly, my lovely students, for giving me the opportunity of serving and making a difference to mathematics education in the Cayman Islands. Really appreciative of that. And a big thanks also goes to my mother, who always taught me the importance of being disciplined and giving my best at every point in time. My desire to become a teacher started almost simultaneously with my love for mathematics. And it all started with Mr. David Wright, who I'm happy to say commented on my post when I said I got nominated for this award. And I tried to emulate him for the past 10 years. He made such a huge difference to my life, and I wanted to be that person for one of my students, hopefully. Fast forward 10 years from I started teaching, and I still reflect on my practice, asking myself, did I handle that situation in the best possible way? Am I pushing my students enough? Am I being Mr. Right? And I take great pride in knowing I've chosen the right profession, because every day I enter the classroom, I have an opportunity to make a difference in this world through the next generation. This award means a lot to me, and while it confirms that my efforts have not gone unnoticed, what it also does is provide a reminder that my students hold me in high esteem, and I must continue to give of my very best and not let them down. So thank you very much for this constant reminder.
Congratulations to Mr. Richards. And once more, let us hear a round of applause for all the high school teachers here with us this evening.
Mr. Richards, the work you do is tremendous, and we are all grateful for your dedication to local education.
Whilst we've recognized those who manage the classroom, we've yet to recognize those who manage the school itself.
Principals. Principals have the enormous task of overseeing the institution as a whole, from teachers and students to the school grounds and cafeteria.
To present the award for principal in a public or private high school, please welcome again Councillor Barbara Conley.
It is my privilege to present the award for principal in public and private schools. As I said earlier, I'm delivering this on behalf of the minister. As the Minister for Education and a past educator myself, I've had the opportunity to work with and witness exceptional school leaders in action throughout my professional life. Having the skill, knowledge, ability, and passion to lead a team of educators is no easy task, whether in the public system or the private. I believe that teachers respond to a special call to teach, and a principal, even more so, responds to a particularly demanding call to lead those who are called, ensuring a complicated mix of managing teaching personalities, parents' personalities, students' needs and personalities, fighting for necessary resources, all while trying to find a way to somehow maintain a personal life. I would like to congratulate all the finalists for consideration of this recognition. And win or lose, I trust you will continue to be a force to be reckoned with in your respective schools and a shining light for your respective communities.
I got married very young, and I actually did not go back to school until after I had 2 children, and I was thinking, well, what am I going to do? And this seemed to be a career that fitted with having a young family. So I went back to school with 2 young children and got my degrees and never looked back. The little boy's now in year 5, but when he was in year 3, one day he looked at me and he said, "Mrs. Rennie, you are like God." And I said, "Why would you say that?" And he said, "Because you know, God sees everything, and you know everything that goes on in this school." I said, "Okay." And he says, "And you know, God wants us to make right choices, and you want us to make right choices." And he says, "The other thing is, God gets mad when we make wrong choices, and you get mad when we make wrong choices." He says, "But you know, the thing about you and God, you still love us." And that really, in essence, you know, just
from a very young age, I knew that I wanted to go into education. My mom was a teacher. I enjoyed helping other teachers out as a child in the summer. So I pursued that dream and ended up in the Cayman Islands, taught in the BRAC, and then worked in the Ministry of Education and Early Childhood. My ultimate dream, once moving to the BRAC, was to be the principal of West End Primary School. So I'm living the dream right now. Becoming a principal gave me the opportunity to work with the students, help them achieve their goals, close learning gaps, but also empower teachers to feel confident that what they're doing matters and that they're able to do the job. It is a rewarding job, but the rewards are not monetary. The rewards are not necessarily with acclamation. The rewards come in the small steps. Surround yourself with teachers who are passionate about seeing children succeed so that you have a network of problem solvers that will support you along the way. Fasten your seatbelt and enjoy the ride.
My parents had 15 of us. I'm number 7, so there's so many younger ones around me. So I was responsible for helping with homework. So I was always a teacher. I love education. I love seeing minds change. I love debates, a good debate. I love substance. You just can't drop something on me. You gotta defend it. I'm not gonna let you go until it's over, until we've exhausted the subject. Because I want them to know that if you're going to be a great educator, you have to have knowledge. Knowledge is power. I think it's great because it's a golden apple. It can't have worms in it. It's fabulous. I love it for that reason. And because, you know, it's a prize, it's an award, it's an honor. And to do it for educators, I think it's fantastic, because we're most of the time not really given our kudos in what we can do and what we do, because we touch every profession. There is not one I can think of that an educator has not touched.
Please welcome the finalists to the stage. Ms. Marcia Renee from Edna M. Moyle Primary School. Ms. Mabel Richardson from Triple C School. And Mrs. April Tibbetts from West End Primary School. And the Golden Apple Award goes to Marcia Renee.
Okay, I didn't write a speech. However, I would like to thank the Ministry and the Chamber of Commerce. One of the questions I was asked on my interview was, what would you tell someone going into teaching? I said I'd tell them it wasn't an easy job. I'd tell them it was often a thankless job, but I told them it was always a rewarding one. And I really do feel that. I thank the team that I work with, my colleagues who are very supportive. My daughter will kill me if I don't thank my children. And I just, what keeps me going, I often have that story of the old man walking on the beach, and he meets a little boy throwing the starfish back. And he asks him, why is he doing that? He certainly can't collect all of them. There are hundreds and hundreds of them that have washed up on the shore. And he says, why do you keep doing that? You just can't, you can't throw them all back. And he says, yes, but for this one, I'm making a difference. And that's what teaching is all about, making that difference for our children. So thank you.
Congratulations again to Mrs. Renee, and let's hear it for all of the outstanding principals with us this evening.
We're down to our final award of the evening, and this one is particularly special.
The final educator we recognize this evening is the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award.
To present the award is Paul Biles, President of the Chamber of Commerce.
Please welcome again President Biles.
First and foremost, let us congratulate again, please, all the outstanding educators who have thus far been recognized for their dedication to supporting our students. As a father of three, I feel like I should be saying as a father of three and a husband of one. I don't think I should leave anyone out, right? But anyway, I'll just go with the script. As a father of three, I know how influential teachers can be. It is encouraging to see that those teachers here with us this evening And all of those who were nominated during this year's process have made such positive impacts on the lives of our students. I also want to admit something to you. I wanted to come here this evening and I wanted to experience this event exactly the way you experienced it. So actually, I have no idea about the judging. I was involved in any of the selection. I know nothing. I have never seen a single of these videos until this evening, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Now we recognize someone who has dedicated not just their career, but their whole life to the teaching of others. Many of us cannot wait to escape the classroom as we get older, but this individual has been a staple of it, enriching the lives of hundreds of students over her decades-long career. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the Lifetime Achievement Award recipient for 2018, Ms. Nimi Sekar.
I have been in education for over 30 years. It wasn't a planned career. I stumbled upon it. I was on the track when I went to my son's primary school one day, and the principal, then Mr. Ross, said that one of the teacher's aides was absent that day, so I volunteered, and since then I didn't look back. I didn't have any formal training, but I was just drawn. I wanted to make a difference. It wasn't something that I thought I could do, or even have the patience to do, but it just happened and I loved it. Pretty much I did all roles, from maintenance of the buildings to teaching, an administrator. I think I've pretty much done every role that you can think of in a school. I just wanted to make a difference, I think. Make a difference, help them in whichever area, either their social well-being, emotional, or their educational needs. I just wanted to make a difference. I taught a range of kids from high school to primary school. I did long-term maternity leaves. So that's when I really got into teaching and liking what I was doing. I thought I was going to be a housewife and raise my kids. I never thought that I would have such a lasting career. I'm very glad that I was able to do my little bit, to have played a role in their lives. The whole journey has been wonderful.
And now we will invite Ms. Nimi to the stage.
Good evening, and thank you to the organizers, the Ministry of Education, and the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this evening. I thank you all very much for this award. However, I must say I'm here with very mixed feelings this evening. I don't know if I had known how overwhelming this nomination process would have been, odd that I would have to say a few words this evening. I don't think I would have accepted the nomination. My colleagues know how I cannot stand in front of an audience. I can be with kids, but not with adults. On the one hand, I'm very honored to have been chosen for this award in the presence of this very distinguished gathering. I'm very grateful to my colleagues who nominated me, particularly Rita Imperato, who initiated it. And I'm very humbled by your recognition. But while I'm honored to have been chosen, I'm not sure that I deserve this award any more than the other nominees. What I am today and what all this has come about is because of the people that I worked along with. I sincerely thank the Department of Education for having given me the first opportunity to teach in the Cayman Islands as a special ed teacher in primary schools on the BRAC. And that led to my very long and fulfilling career in education. I had the privilege of working with Dr. Faulkner, who founded Faulkner Academy in 1994. We started about 25 years ago with 6 children. And by 2002, the school has grown to have about 200 kids. And at that time, Cayman International Services acquired the school and renamed it Cayman International School. And since then, the school has grown, and we now have about 650 kids. And in 2006, I had the privilege, all of us had the privilege of going into a brand new facility, a very posh one, that was built with the DART partnership. I had the privilege to be working with very wonderful and capable people, like my admin team, Miss Melissa, Dr. Jeremy, Dr. Ann, Dr. Doug, and all the past principals and directors, like Jackie, Dr. Greg, Miss Jean. And these were the people And these are the people who actually furthered the educational goals of the school and allowed me to do whatever I felt like doing. And really, I was very privileged. I feel like I really did what I wanted to do without any pressure on me, and I did what I felt was necessary. I was fortunate to have literally worked with hundreds of teachers and families, and I learned a lot, and I grew a lot, both professionally and personally. All the teachers that I worked with made my life very enjoyable. Without their support, I don't think I would have done this. All the teachers that are there, thank you. And talking about support, I thank my parents who are not here with me all the time. They were back home in India, but have always supported me and encouraged me. And I couldn't have definitely gone so far without my husband, Shaker, and all our family friends without their encouragement all these years. And of course, my sons most likely enjoyed the time that I was not at home so that they didn't have to hear what I didn't want them to do or what I wanted them to do. My proudest moments were usually at graduation time. When I see the graduates with their diplomas in their hands, some of them who I have known them grown from nursery students to graduates, and to think that I had a little part to play in their successes and their achievements. This award is wonderful, and I thank you all for it. But what is even more wonderful is that the school that I helped start is going to grow and will continue to help and care for kids. I feel very privileged to have been part of the school and the excellent school community that we have in the Cayman Islands. I consider this recognition and this honor as a jewel in the crown of my professional life. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ms. Nimi. That was really inspiring and a really special moment, I thought. We're coming to the close of this evening, but I have a little story to tell you. I'm hoping that the screen does something different now, since I'm supposed to tell you a story. And I'm really happy that the screen has done what it's supposed to do. A few months ago, I received an envelope, and I was hoping it would be a check from a client, but it felt like something different. It's clear it was some sort of card, and it wasn't my birthday, and Christmas had already gone, so I wasn't sure where this was coming from. And I got the card that you're seeing there, and you can read what it says. It says, "It gladdens my heart to see my students succeed and take their place in leadership on the island. Congratulations on being chosen as the new president of the Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Marjorie Ebanks." But that isn't really my story. So my story is, if you look at the top of the card, it says, "To Paul," and in brackets it says, "Jaime." I need to explain that, right? Because you know my name is Paul. When I was 12 years old, Miss Marjorie Ebanks taught me in Spanish, and she gave all the Spanish kids different names, Spanish names. Jaime is for James, and I have no idea why I was given James, but... But anyway, so I was Jaime, and I stuck to Jaime. That, I need to explain this to you. That was a very long time ago. And there is a continuous debate about what's a good teacher and what makes a good teacher. And we always talk about this, and people have different stories and different answers about what makes a good teacher. And there's also a question about how much do teachers really care. And I think the idea, number one, that she would remember so many years later, and it's a lot of years, that my Spanish name in school when I was 12 years old was Jaime. It says a lot about teachers. It says a lot about what it means for them as teachers and the experiences that they have. They are not just little experiences where they experience your kids in class and then they forget about it. It's a huge part of their life. It's a massive continuum, what it means to be a teacher. They live it. They live the experience with your kids, with our kids. They own the experience with your kids, with our kids. She remembered my name in class, and then she sent me this card. Now, I didn't cry, but if I was a crying kind of guy, I would be crying a lot. And I wanted to tell you this story because it meant a lot to me, but it's also a testament to all the teachers. And for us to understand that, they spend 6 hours a day with your children, but it's not as simple as them going to a classroom and leaving a classroom. It is a very personal experience that they live with our children. And it's important for us to remember that, just as it was to her, apparently, to remember my name from 32 years ago. This is extraordinary. And I want to say thanks to her. She wasn't able to be here this evening, and I wanted to, get her a bouquet of flowers and give her a hug, because I've never given a teacher anything in my entire life. Except maybe some trouble. And I really wanted it, but she couldn't make it tonight, and I want you to thank her and all the teachers for me. Thank you very much, and I'll invite Mr. Will Panu up to the stage, who will be giving our closing remarks.
Miss Marjorie E. Banks was the 2009 Lifetime Award recipient. She's an incredible educator. Unfortunately, she had some surgery and she couldn't be here with us, but when I spoke to her, she's certainly here in spirit. She's an outstanding principal and a teacher. So I have to put my glasses on, sorry. I guess I'm getting a bit older. So this is the end of this year's awards program. So on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, I'd certainly like to thank everyone for joining us this evening and to recognizing 12 outstanding educators. As President Paul has said, it's important that we continue to support not only the teachers and students in our community, but the schools in which they teach and where the students learn. Certainly the Chamber of Commerce will continue to support existing educational initiatives as well as developing and implementing new and existing programs to ensure that our education system continues to thrive. This event took a great deal of effort in planning and coordination, and I'd like to publicly express the Chamber's gratitude to our partners in education, the Ministry of Education and the Arm & Hammer Foundation, our sponsors, Caribbean Alliance Insurance Company, CUC, Dart Enterprises, Broadhurst, Cayman National, DHL, Foster's IGA, GT Automotive, Kensington Management, Kirk Office, Office Supply, Yellow, Chatterbox, Life, Cayman Life TV, Picture This, the Ritz Carlton Grand Cayman, and Scotiabank. Please put your hands together for these. And certainly no awards program can be successful without a hard-working team that's working in the background. These are people that seamlessly go through the event. You kind of see them, then you don't. But I'd like to actually recognize them because they're the people that mean the most to me. Sorry. I'm not going to cry, Paul, though. I'd ask Carolina, come to the stage. Nikita. And Ross, who's in the back, like I said, in the background. We just don't see them. And unfortunately, Marilyn Whitaker couldn't be here with us, but she's here in spirit, and certainly Carrie Pratt, who's worked with me for, I think it's 18 years now. So I'd also like to especially thank Cayman Life TV, April and the gang, for producing an excellent videos of the honorees. Put your hands together for them. And streaming this event live to the world on the Chamber's Facebook page as well as their Facebook page. And also, it'll be rebroadcast on their Cayman Life TV channel on Logic station number 33. And a special thank you to our MCs. Weren't they awesome? Well done. Ms. Cayman, Anika Conley, and Elroy Bryan, I still recall your acceptance speech when you were honored with a Golden Apple Award, and look where you've gone, now the principal of the Lighthouse School. Well done. Well done. As most people know, I like to try to keep things as close to on time as possible, so that's the end of my remarks. I want you to have a great rest of the evening. Please take the time to thank each one of these honorees. All of the teachers matter in this room. So it's your evening, celebrate, and good night.